Today we are here with Raf Buyle from the Flemish government, and I'm going to ask Raf to introduce himself and tell us a little bit about his work.
Hi Max, I'm responsible for data and innovation, both at Digitaal Vlaanderen as well as Athumi, the Flemish Data Utility company.
Last year you talked also about the work that you were doing in Flanders for legal and organizational interoperability, and as you mentioned, the Flemish Data Utility company. Can you tell us a little bit more about the development and the evolution of that work?
Well, last year in December we founded the Flemish Data Utility company. And let me start by giving a concrete example, a use case that's already in production and that will clarify the challenges on both legal and organizational interoperability. So one of the use cases is in the context of the human resources. When we apply for a new job, we need to share our diploma. First of all, I'm wondering, where is my diploma? And then I share it with my future employer and I share my data for an undefined period. Also, for my future employer, it's crucial to know whether this is an authentic document. Therefore, we place citizens in control of their own data by giving them a data vault, and from this vault they can share the data with who do they want to share it, for how long they want to share it. So the first challenge was, how can we let data flow on the crossroads of the public and private sector? Because within the government it's based on laws and decrees, and so this was a new challenge. So therefore we created new legislation and we founded the Data Utility company. So these were challenges we need to tackle on the legal level, but also on the organizational level. So in that context, we created a governance framework and also a governance body that looks after GDPR as well on the ethical side of data sharing. So in this way, we arranged the top layers of the interoperability framework, both legal and organizational, and we were able to do so because the lower layers, semantical and technical, were already in place by building on the stunning best practices and assets of SEMIC via the local interoperability program, Open Standards for Linked Organizations.
Thank you, Raf. That is important work. Can you also explain to us a little bit on how you're doing this and what the results are so far?
Well, Max, by the end of the year, over 5,000 companies will be active in the Flemish data space ecosystem. And also we will realize approximately 1 million data transactions. And in this transaction, we put the parties that generate the data in control. So for instance, in the use case I just mentioned, the citizen is fully in control of their data.
Okay, there are impressive numbers for the work that you're doing. But you also mentioned the interoperability across data spaces. Can you say what you think that the importance is of interoperability for the connection between data spaces?
Well, Max, that's a very good question. Let me give a concrete example. For instance, shared mobility. If I want to move from place A to place D by using public transport or scooter, which is private transport, then I'm already crossing both data spaces. Therefore, we've been working together with SEMIC on very important building blocks to let data flow within and across the data spaces. For instance, on the personal level, because I would like to plan my routes in the mobility context, we focused on Solid, a protocol for personal data sharing, and also we focused on linked data event streams to combine this with all the broad and fast-moving data out there about the status of mobility. So in this context, together with SEMIC, we did very important work on data standards. But there are some components missing. If you look at the evolution, first we had interoperability within an organization using XML specs. Then we moved to inter-organizational interoperability, the work of ISA Square and Interoperable Europe, where we are using linked data to connect data across organizations. But now when we look at data spaces, it's not only about the technical interoperability, but it's also about the policy. And there we need logic that allows to define how the data can be used, what the policy is that is traveling along with the data. And therefore we need to focus on decentralized algorithms to bridge that chasm.
So what you mentioned on the work on data spaces, I think this is very relevant at the moment, and SEMIC will keep on working in those areas also in the future. Are there any other areas where you think that SEMIC can help further in your work?
Yes, but before we dive into that, let me mention that SEMIC already did a stunning job. The work of SEMIC are the fundamentals we use for the digital transformation in Flanders. Now, on the one hand, SEMIC could help to even optimize the collaboration across Europe on semantics. And therefore, it would be great if we could work on a register of algorithms. This register could inspire people across Europe and beyond on what's already happening, could help them to adopt these standards, extend them and reshare them with the community. On the other hand, I already mentioned that the focus today is on decentralization of data, but we see that the focus tomorrow might be the decentralization of algorithms, making more modular algorithms, and this could help for the transparency for the user to make AI work for us and not the other way around. And also we could extend the existing SEMIC program where we share and reuse semantic assets to sharing and reusing of parts of algorithms.
So these are very valuable suggestions that you're giving SEMIC, and I think overall the work that we're doing with SEMIC for Europe could benefit for more cooperation and the registry of algorithms, as you point out. Thank you very much, Raf, for your...
Thank you, Max.
Okay, thank you.